Hello, everyone, and welcome to Buffalo Live. You are joining me, Kyle, after the Bills sneak past the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round. A final score of Buffalo 27, Baltimore 25. What a game. Just wanted to share some thoughts with you guys post game. Wow. And I also want to see how long it takes before I mentioned the Kansas City Chiefs in this stream. Uh, this was a game, guys, that all week I had been nervous about. This was not a game I was real confident in. This was not a game that I had a whole lot of confidence the Bills would be able to put away their opponent because of how these two teams match up, with the Ravens being as good as they are at running the ball. Just a dominant offense and a defense that has really come alive towards the end of this season. And nevertheless, the Bills have snuck away. Again, I really thought hard about that word. I do think the Bills, that last 2-point conversion, which we'll get into, Mark Andrews drops a walk-in 2-point conversion. Bills really sneak. I mean, they don't get me wrong. They definitely were the better team today. There's no doubt about that. And we're going to get into why. But I am just blown away, guys. I mean, really, truly, the Bills are going back to the AFC Championship game for the first time in, I believe, 5 years. It's been, wow, that long. Let me check to be sure. I think it might have been the 2020-2021 season, so maybe that was 4 years ago. But either way, 4 or 5 years feels too long with Josh Allen as your starting quarterback. So bear with me here. 2024, the Chiefs are playing the Bills. Last time was, yes, 4 years ago. So let's dive into this game. Again, if you're just joining, the Bills have defeated the Baltimore Ravens 27-25. It was a game where the Ravens had the lead at the beginning of this game and then trailed the entire rest of the game. They trailed. The Bills pulled away with the lead in the second quarter and never gave it up. So, as I said, I was on pins and needles the entire week, nervous about this game, and here is why. The main reason why is that running game: Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and the zone read. What does that mean? What is a zone read, right? Well, the quarterback's in the shotgun, and he's got his running back to his right or left, and the offensive line is going to block in a zone pattern. In other words, they're going to block in a general direction, either left or right. Just go in this direction, right? And Lamar Jackson has the total freedom to either keep it himself, depending on what he sees from the defensive line, or hand it off to his running back. So how were the Bills going to counter that? That was the big question. All week I asked myself, what are the Bills going to do? What are Bobby Babich and Sean McDermott going to dial up? Are they going to keep Taron Johnson, the nickel cornerback, on the field? Are they going to leave him? Are they going to go base package? How creative are they going to be with their secondary? Which defensive lineman are you going to use? Are you going to use Daquan Jones or Dwayne Smoot? What kind of player do you want skill set wise? You want a faster guy or a stronger guy? Anyways, so the Bills, their defensive game plan initially, the game script is so huge in this game, right? Because the Bills were able to get to an early lead despite not having the ball first. They got to an early lead. So Baltimore played from behind the majority of the game, which makes them just a little bit more one-dimensional, right? Makes them want to throw the ball a little bit more, and gives your linebackers the chance to have that much more reaction time to a run play. Okay. So again, initially the Ravens had the freedom, let's start over. So first quarter, Ravens go down the field and score a touchdown. They didn't have much success running the ball on that first drive, but they hit, let's see, it was Isaiah Likely for a 39-yard gain. I mean, that was a crazy play where he was wide open. I don't remember who was in coverage on that play, but either way, that he was just wide open down the seam, and fortunately, Christian Benford tackles him before he walks in for a touchdown. And then again, Likely for 5 yards, and then on 3rd and 3 on Buffalo's 16, pass to Rashad Bateman up the middle, touchdown. So, bang, Ravens are up 7-0. Bills get the ball back and score a touchdown. And again, both of these teams, so much success, running the ball early. I mean, I think that first drive was like something crazy, 9 runs and 2 passes for the Bills. And it was all James Cook essentially until Ray Davis was the one that scored that touchdown. Okay, and so now, again, we have got a tie game. Ravens get the ball back, and in that first drive and then this drive, you saw Taron Johnson off the field, Dorian Williams in the game, and there were times where he was lined up off the ball. However, there were many plays during this game where he was lined up on the line of scrimmage, and he could have been on the strong side at some times, but I saw him on the weak side many times in a 2-point stance, which just totally eliminated Lamar's instinct to ever keep the ball in a zone option, which I think was a really brilliant move by Sean McDermott and Bobby Babich to say, all right, you're not going to keep the ball at all. We're going to leave Dorian Williams, who's athletic enough to, stop you from keeping it one-on-one behind the line of scrimmage. But we've still got 2 backers back there in Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard, who we have confidence can make that play against Derrick Henry. Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones, Quentin Jefferson did a great job generating just enough pressure against the line of scrimmage to really throw off Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a running back who is elite when he is heading north and south with a full head of steam. But if you can stop him or slow him down or stall him before he gets there, he's not. He's actually, I would consider him below average at, finding these little tiny creases, right? He's just a big guy. That's just not his game. I'm not taking away from what he's good at, but he's not a guy who is going to make 2 guys miss in the backfield and make a big play out of it. That's just not his game. And so were there times in this game in which the Bills gave up chunk plays? Yes, absolutely. But for the most part, they did a good job of just getting enough push to make him kind of to freeze a little bit, right? And that gives your linebackers time to be in the right place, fill those gaps that are opening up. And so, anyways, that second drive for the Ravens, first play, Derrick Henry met in the backfield by Damar Hamlin. That's another thing I want to talk about. Lots of pre-snap motion by the defense during this game. And I think the purpose of that was to really give Lamar Jackson eye candy, really distract him, really throw him off his rhythm, make him uncertain every single play how the Bills secondary was going to look post-snap. And I think that's really brilliant, especially with a guy who you're going to have a hard time stopping him with his legs. He's got an arm as well. Why not try and do something with his mind to throw him off? You're playing base. You've got Dorian Williams there to take away the quarterback keeper. So let's try and mess with his head in the passing game, in the secondary. So you saw Damar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp going back and forth and switching from covers 1 to covers 2. Rasul Douglas playing a deep half and moving Damar Hamlin over. Obviously, Cole Bishop went into the game later after Taylor Rapp got injured early. Not sure exactly when that was. I think it was the Ravens' 3rd drive. So I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. So I'll save that for a second. But Lamar Jackson, 2nd and 11 on that drive, threw it deep to Rashad Bateman, intercepted by Taylor Rapp. I'm not really sure what to make of that play because it was just so off target. Lamar just threw it way too deep. I mean, that ball wasn't close to Bateman. I don't think Bateman had a chance of getting that. So, first turnover of the game. Bills get the ball back and unable to do much with it. They go 4 plays for 4 yards and punt. And that drive was ended from a really bad holding call on Deion Dawkins. You heard Tony Romo talk about it if you had the broadcast audio on. Dawkins basically just swiped the hands of the rusher, and I don't know. The rusher just completely fell on his face, and a flag was thrown, and that just totally pushed the Bills back 2nd and 21, and then Josh Allen got sacked. 3rd and 17, passing complete to Dawson Knox. So that they weren't able to capitalize off that turnover. Nonetheless, you pin the Ravens deep back at their own 9. Great. And here's again where I believe Taylor Rapp comes off the field, and huge spot for Cole Bishop. If you recall back to week 4 when the Bills played the Ravens, Damar Hamlin was injured during that stretch, and it was in the previous week against Houston where Cole Bishop comes in for Damar Hamlin. Well, Cole Bishop really struggled in that game against the Texans. He comes into the game for the Ravens and plays really well, all things considered, right? I mean, the Ravens had their way offensively with the Bills, but you couldn't really chalk it up to anything Cole Bishop did. So what a big spot for Cole Bishop to be in, and I think he played well. I mean, a couple passes given up down the field, but nothing that got the top blown off. So great job by Cole Bishop to come in, and that's especially the type of backup you want against a really physical Baltimore Ravens team. So hats off to Cole Bishop. And then in this drive, again, the Ravens have the ball at their own 9. They're starting to have some success on the ground game. Derrick Henry for 10 yards, Justice Hill for 9 yards, Hill for 11 yards, Jackson scrambles for 16. And then you have this play. How about Sir Von Miller, right? So here's what happens. Again, Babbage and McDermott doing things so creatively. Damar Hamlin comes in on a blitz. And now, granted, the snap was off target, right? That snap went way back here for Lamar Jackson, so that completely threw off the play. I'm not sure what the design there was. Jackson just takes it and tries to run. Hamlin is right there to make a tackle, and I think the ball might have hit the ground or something, or as it's coming down to the ground, it pops loose of Jackson's possession. Von Miller recovers the ball and takes it for 39 yards, dude. Oh, my gosh. Jumped out of my chair. I was screaming. My daughter was thinking Dad's crazy, and as well as my wife. And wow, I mean, just what a moment for Von Miller to recover the fumble, and not only recover it, scoops it, goes 39 yards, gives the offense an easy, 24-yard touchdown drive. So, and again, you wonder about the jitters from Lamar Jackson. Throws the interception on the previous drive, fumbles it away on this drive. Anyways, no disrespect to Lamar Jackson on this stream. You're not going to hear it from me. But yeah, he just gave the ball up, I think, 3 times. Well, no, I think he just gave it up twice, but the offense gave it up 3 times in this playoff game. Unfortunate for the Ravens. And the narrative for Lamar continues, which sucks for him, right? Just couldn't get past the big game in the playoffs. You feel for him, such a talented player. But anyways, to continue, The Bills get the ball back in the second quarter on the 21-yard line, and this is where Shakir gets a 13-yard gain, Cook gets a 7-yard gain, and then Allen runs it in. I don't believe that was a tush push. I think that was actually a quarterback power from the gun, if I'm not mistaken. So now the Bills are up 14-7. Right now the Bills control the game. So Ravens get the ball back and have to settle for a field goal. They went 57 yards. Tucker makes it from 26. Didn't really see any kickers struggling today, which was quite the story coming into the week. People were talking about, the weather and had both Tucker and Bass had kind of struggled this year. Nonetheless, I don't think either of them missed a single kick today. And you did see Tucker get subbed out for the punter on some kickoffs, which was strange. But anyways, we'll get into that onside kick later. But so they get a field goal out of it. Bills get the ball back and get a 70-yard, 9-play touchdown drive. Looking at my notes here, and this play was capped off by, I take that back. The last drive did end in tush push. This was the quarterback power for 4 yards. Allen gets the touchdown. And what I noticed on that play is Allen absorbed a big hit to his head the previous play. You might have seen it. He's seen a replay of it. The very next play, he scores that 4-yard touchdown run. And what is he doing? He's bouncing his face mask off his teammates in celebration. I don't know why I doubt this guy's toughness all the time. It's just, quarterback, scared for him. Don't want him to leave the game. God forbid that would ever happen. And he's fine. So at this point, the double dip has officially engaged. There were 16 seconds left on the clock, and the Ravens kneel it out. Bills get the ball back in the second half, the Ravens get the ball. Bills get the ball back, leading 21-10. Okay, so 2-score lead. And, this drive was frustrating, right? You want to come out hot in the second half, complete the double dip, really put this game away. But Cook gets stopped on first down just for 1 yard. And then on 2nd and 9, Josh Allen threw a ball that was just a little too low for Dalton Kincaid. He had him open there, but couldn't connect. It was kind of at his feet. And then the next play, incomplete as well. So 3 and out to start that, to complete that double dip. So that's unfortunate. And then the Ravens come back and get a field goal. And this is where, man, as a Bills fan, you're looking and really feeling concerned because the Ravens start to have that success in the run game. Justice Hill for 11 yards, Derrick Henry for 12 yards, and having some success in the passing game. And guys were just giving up major creases in the trenches that led to bigger gains. I think the interior guys were just falling down in the snow and not effectively clogging. So they go down the field, get a field goal, make it an 8-point game. Now the score is 21-13. All right, Bills back on offense, need to make something happen. They aren't able to. 6 plays, 18 yards, punt the ball. They converted just 1 first down and punt the ball on the 48-yard line. So that sucks. And again, Ravens go down, get the ball, touchdown. 7 plays, 80 yards. 2-point conversion attempt was failed. Pass to Isaiah Likely. He had it in his hands, kind of bobbled it, but wasn't able to complete the catch. So now it's 21-19 and well into the third quarter. Bills get the ball back. All right, offense, let's score some points. We got to make something happen. Even if it's a field goal, let's do something. And sure enough, they're able to make that happen, make it a 5-point game, 24-19. And there was a question as to whether to – nope, I'm thinking of the next drive. So next drive, Baltimore gets the ball back, and they fumble it away Mark Andrews had the ball, and Terrell Bernard just really got a lucky hand on that. Fist just hit the ball, knocked it loose, recovered by Bernard. Great job by him. But again, they were really having success. And it just didn't really feel like the Bills were in control of the game despite having that 5-point lead. So the Bills get the ball back after that fumble at their own 46. So, all you need is 15, 20 yards to get a field goal in. And that's exactly what happens. But they do get it in the red zone. And so there was a question, right? The Bills were up by 5. And they're in the goal line part of the field, 2-yard line, 4th and goal. What do? Do you have Josh Allen run one more play, try and put this game to bed, or just kick the field goal? I absolutely would have kicked it, make it an 8-point game. Not only do they have to score a touchdown, they got to get that 2-point conversion, and that's just a tie game. And you basically ensure that if this game ends in regulation, it's going to end likely with Josh Allen and the Bills having the ball, with a chance to kick a field goal or something and win the game. And so that's what Sean McDermott decides to do. They initially were going to go for it. Timeout gets called. They kick it, and great job by Bass to put it through. All right, so now the Ravens are really on their heels. They are down. Let's see. They are down 8 points, as I just said. They got to score a touchdown. 1 or 2 plays into the drive, Taron Johnson goes down with a shoulder injury. And immediately I'm expecting Baltimore to target their tight ends in the middle of the field. You're going to have Cam Lewis or Jamarcus Ingram having to cover them now, who are not as physical, not as big, or a linebacker who's not going to be as fast. But fortunately, Johnson goes back in the game like 2 plays later. And prior to that, nothing really major happened. I think Lamar scrambled for 8 yards or something. But there was a huge completion given up to Wallace for the Ravens, 27 yards, and not even hit the 2-minute warning yet. Baltimore's on. Let me see. Sorry, Baltimore is on Buffalo's 47-yard line. 2-minute warning hits, and another huge completion given up to Mark Andrews, 19 yards, and then the deep pass down the middle of the field to Isaiah Likely for 24 yards, touchdown. And then there's that 2-point conversion. And as I spoiled already, Mark Andrews drops it. And immediately I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if the Ravens recover this onside kick, all they got to do is kick a field goal to win. Fortunately, Tucker kicked the ball, and it looked like a really easy catch, ground ball for Rasul Douglas, because it was well past that first line of return men. If Tucker gets that a little bit closer to that initial line of returners, I think it'd be a different story. But good job by Douglas to close out the game. But the Bills win the game 27-25, advance the AFC Championship game for the first time in 4 years to take on the Kansas City Chiefs at Gee-Haw Stadium, whatever it's called. And I just want to say this. I don't want to jinx us. I don't want to come across as too cocky, but I 100% am more confident in the Bills' ability to put that game away than this one against the Ravens. I just think that the Bills match up better with the Chiefs in terms of stopping the passing game on defense, and just what Josh Allen is able to do with his legs against their defense, and especially with the the Chiefs secondary, which has had some leakage in the past. I think they've tightened that up recently. I admittedly have not watched every Chiefs snap this year, and over the past month, I'll have to talk to my Chiefs friends to see what they think. But if you remember last time, The Bills play the Chiefs, week 10 or whatever it was. The Bills really targeted one player on the Chiefs secondary, and that was Najee Johnson, I believe his name is. And were able to just have their way with him. So if that's, a viable way to attack this defense again, I'd love for them to just go for it. Put the ball in the hands of a guy like Amari Cooper, who was really absent today. I got to see the box score here. I don't even think he had one catch. Amari Cooper, 1 target, 0 catches, 0 yards. Khalil Shakir is your leading receiver tonight. 7 targets for 6 catches, 67 yards. Again, this was not a night that really felt like an everybody eats game because Shakir got double the amount of targets that the guy behind him did. It was really touting the rock. James Cook, 17 carries for 67 yards, average of 3.99 yards a carry. Josh Allen goes 16 for 22, 127 yards. Wow, only 127 passing yards for Josh Allen. And so I think that really, you chalk that up to the turnovers your defense made. The fumble recovery by Von Miller, another fumble recovery by Terrell Bernard, and an interception by Taylor Rapp. Put the Bills in favorable field position a few times. And playing with the lead, didn't really have to throw. Only sacked 1 time tonight, Josh Allen. So, but again, I think the biggest contributing factor for the Bills getting the job done tonight was stopping the Ravens' run game. Derrick Henry with 16 carries for 84 yards, 5.3 yards a carry, 1 touchdown, a long of 17. Hey, I'll take that. That is great. I mean, if you told me at the beginning of this game, hey, would you take Derrick Henry for 84 yards and 1 touchdown? Yes, absolutely. Lamar Jackson, 6 carries for 39 yards. Yes, that is why the Bills were able to beat the Ravens tonight. They played with the lead and made them a little bit one-handed. Ravens were not able to fully unleash their run game. So how about the cage pass rush tonight? I think that last play where the Ravens scored a touchdown to attempt that 2-point conversion and tie the game at the end of the fourth quarter. I don't know what they were doing on that play. I think they rushed 3 guys, and one of them was Quentin Jefferson. And it's like, all right, zero pressure on Lamar Jackson. I did not understand that. I think that's a perfect time to send a blitz. But I understand also that, there was still a lot of time left on the clock, and they went down the field pretty quickly. So, but yeah, I just couldn't believe we didn't get a better pass rush. But you could definitely tell the plan the whole game was to do that cage pass rush, which is a very disciplined, tight pass rush where you're not trying to do anything creative, really. You're just trying to keep Lamar in the pocket and collapse it on him, stick a hand out, get your hands up to deflect a ball. And if you have the time and spacing, go for the sack. But it's not like you're doing a whole lot of one-on-one moves, because then you generate too much space and he slips through it. And we saw that a couple times tonight. So great job by the pass rush and Bobby Babbage to utilize Dorian Williams and use his strengths, and Rasul Douglas. Loved how they used him. Cole Bishop coming in the game. I've said it all. Bills win 27-25. Now we're looking ahead to the Chiefs, and Chiefs win against the Texans yesterday, 23-14. And now is the time, guys. Now is the time for the Bills to make this Super Bowl. This is as good of a chance that we've had since 2020, right? Since 4 years ago. As far as how the team is clicking, this offense is really unpredictable. Defense held a great Ravens offense, best offense in the league, if I'm not mistaken, per EPA, to 25 points, 3 turnovers. This is as good of a chance as you're going to have since a long, long time for these Bills to make a Super Bowl. So let's get it done. I'm going to try to maybe get some content out there this week. Maybe I won't. Thank you guys for tuning in to Buffalo Live. I'm your host, Kyle. Leave a like if you don't mind. Leave a comment. What do you think about this Ravens game? What stuck out to you? Was it the turnovers? Was it the Bills' defensive game plan? Was it Khalil Shakir making some big-time catches? Continues to be so clutch. Leave a comment, and let's talk about it. So that's going to do it for me, Kyle, from Buffalo Live. Until next time, go Bills, and God bless.